America, welcome back to Maniacal Reader. I know it's the beginning of January, and I'm a little late on the end of the year videos, but you're going to be seeing my face a lot over the next week or so. But today I'm going to kick things off with my November and Christmas book haul. The first book I wanted to show you is Don't Look Back by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is a YA mystery book, and it's quite a departure from what Jennifer L. Armentrout normally writes. She normally writes YA paranormal stuff and new adult romance. I believe this book is about these two friends. One friend goes missing, so the main character needs to find out what happened to her missing friend. It sounds like an interesting book, and I'm looking forward to getting to it. I love Jennifer L. Armentrout's writing, so this book should be interesting. The next book I want to show you is We Own Tonight by Corinne. This is a contemporary romance book, and it's one that I read on my Kindle in November. The book follows this main character named Heather, who's a female police officer. But Heather has had a lot of responsibility in her life. Her parents died in a car accident when she was 21 years old, and this left her to care for her younger sister Stephanie. Her sister Stephanie has been battling MS though for the past 7 years, and she's had to look after her sister and visit her in her care facility. So Heather has had a lot on her shoulders. When her friends suggest she come to a concert one night, they want her to have a fun night out, give her a chance to forget all of her worries for a while. At this concert, she comes across the lead singer named Eli. And Eli and Heather seem to have some sort of connection because he wants to meet her after the concert. And after the concert, they have a one-night stand. And Heather has never had a one-night stand, and she doesn't really do casual things, so she kind of hightails it out of there after the concert. But Eli isn't wanting to let her go. I read this book in November, and you can hear more of my thoughts. I'll link my November wrap-up down below. The third book I wanted to show you is The Perfect Play by Jaci Burton. This is another contemporary romance, and it's the first book in a sports romance series. This book follows a professional hockey player named Mick Riley and his romance with a woman named Tara Lincoln. Tara Lincoln is a single mom of a teenage son, and she doesn't really think that she has room in her life for relationships. But she meets Mick at an event that she planned for his NHL team, and their relationship takes off from there. I liked this book. It was a good first book in a series, and I'm looking forward to reading more of this series in the future. You can look at my November wrap-up to hear more of my thoughts. Now let's move on to the actual books I got for Christmas. The first book I got is Eleanor and Park by Rowell. This is a YA contemporary standalone. I don't know anything about this book, but I'm interested in reading more YA contemporary in 2018. I know Rowell is a good contemporary author, so I'm looking forward to getting to know her books and reading more from her as an author. This seems like a good book to start with. The next book I got is A Million Worlds with You by Claudia Gray. This is the third and final book in her Firebird trilogy, and this is a YA sci-fi trilogy. I read this book back in September, I think, and I really loved this trilogy, so I wanted to get this book in paperback once it came out. I'm definitely going to reread this trilogy. It was awesome. Next up I have The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Chbosky. This is another YA contemporary book, and it's one that's really well known. I've never read it though, but I know it's a good coming-of-age story, so I'm looking forward to getting to this book. The next book I have is Every Last Word by Tamara. This is another YA contemporary standalone, and it's about this girl who has purely obsessional OCD. It's about just her coming to terms with her disorder, and she hasn't really told any of her friends about her disorder. She likes to keep it a secret, but she's a popular girl in school who has nice friends, and for some reason she's hiding this disorder. She doesn't want anyone to know about it, so this book is just her coming to terms with that and her accepting more about herself. I've heard nothing but great things about this book, and it sounds like it's a book that I'm going to be interested in. Next up I have After Eden by Helen. This is the first book in a YA sci-fi duology. It follows this girl named Eden, who meets this guy named Ryan, who's the new kid at her school. Everyone wants his attention, but he's suddenly become interested in Eden for some reason. And Ryan doesn't really know regular things that everyone knows. I also think that there's this mystery surrounding Ryan and the main character's best friend. She goes missing or is somehow murdered in the future, and Ryan is the only one who knows this, so it seems Ryan is from the future. This definitely sounds like an interesting book. I love YA sci-fi, so I'm definitely interested in this book. I also picked up the sequel, Chasing Stars, the last book in this duology. The next book I have here is Without Merit by Colleen Hoover. I love Colleen Hoover as an author. I've read a lot of her books, and this is her most recent release, so I definitely wanted to pick this up. I don't know much about this book. I wanted to go into this book blind since everyone seems to be reading it lately. All I know is that this book is actually YA, and Colleen Hoover is returning to her YA roots since her debut novel was slammed, and this was a YA book as well. So I'm looking forward to this book. I hear that it's deeply emotional since Colleen Hoover tends to write deeply emotional books, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. Next up I have All Lined Up by Cora Carmack. This is the first book in a new adult romance series, and it's a college football romance series. That's all I know about it. I own Cora Carmack's Losing It trilogy, but I haven't read it yet. I'll probably read that first, and then move on to this. I love sports romances, so I'm looking forward to getting to this series. The next book I have is Come Back to Me by Mila. This is a YA contemporary book, but it's the first book in a companion series. This book follows a girl named Jaci who falls in love with her brother's best friend. They've liked each other for years, but they've never told each other their true feelings. Kid also has feelings for Jaci, but he knows that Jaci is off limits since he feels it's wrong to date his best friend's sister. I've heard that this book is deeply emotional since Kid has just recently come back from war. It's on the more mature side for YA, so I'm looking forward to getting to this book and starting this series. I've heard nothing but good things about Mila, so hopefully I like this book. The next book I have here is Once She Dreamed by Abbi Glines. This is a new adult romance book. I don't usually buy physical copies of Abbi Glines books. I read most of her books on my Kindle, but I wanted to get the paperback of this book because Once She Dreamed was released in 2 parts on Kindle before, and this paperback book has both parts in it. That's why I wanted to get the paperback book instead of getting the 2 parts on my Kindle. I love Abbi Glines books. I love her Rosemary Beach series the best, but I also love her Sea Breeze series. She's an awesome new adult romance author, so I'm looking forward to getting to this book for sure. She's one of my favorite authors. Next up I have Sisters in Sanity by Gayle Forman. This is a YA contemporary book, and it's about these 4 people who meet each other in a treatment facility and they become friends and help each other through their problems. This sounds like it's going to be a serious and emotional book, but it sounds like it's going to be a good book about female friendship as well. So I'm looking forward to getting to this book. I read Gayle Forman's If I Stay duology, so I wanted to read something else by her, and this sounded like a good pick. And the final book in my Christmas book haul is Lovers Like Us by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is the second book in the Like Us series, and this is a new adult romance series. This book continues Maximoff Hale's relationship with his bodyguard Pharaoh Keene. I read this book on my Kindle when it was first released, but I couldn't resist getting a paperback copy. I love the Like Us series so much, and I definitely wanted a physical copy, so that's why I got this one. Those are all of the books that I got in November and Christmas. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below and tell me what books you got for Christmas. I'd love to know. I'll see you guys in my next one.